Welcome to Chasing Curiosity TV. Subscribe and press the bell icon for more updates. The Philippines is more than a collection of islands. It's a strategic fulcrum at the crossroads of major sea lanes. The South China Sea, a global artery for trade, laps at its shores, making the nation a gatekeeper to trillions in commerce. This geography is both a blessing and a burden, placing the Philippines at the heart of great power competition. To the west, China's assertive presence looms. To the east, the United States remains a historical ally. The islands form a natural barrier, a chain that can contain or project power, making the Philippines a front line in the contest for regional dominance. Its actions send ripples across Southeast Asia. Weakness invites aggression, but strength can stabilize the region. The nation's struggle for sovereignty is tied to the fate of the Indo-Pacific and the preservation of a rules-based order. The world watches as Manila navigates these treacherous waters, its decisions echoing in Washington, Beijing, and beyond. The Philippines' ability to modernize and leverage alliances will shape not only its own destiny, but the balance of power in this critical region. The armed forces of the Philippines is transforming from a counterinsurgency force to one focused on external defense. The AFP modernization program is upgrading hardware across all branches. Modern frigates, corvettes, fighter jets, and radar systems are now coming online. Training is shifting to maritime security, anti-submarine warfare, and joint operations with allies like the US and Australia. The goal: a credible military that can project power into the maritime domain and deter modern adversaries. But challenges remain: limited budgets, persistent corruption, and the need to balance internal security with external threats. The pace of modernization must keep up with rapidly advancing adversaries. The AFP is racing against time, forging a new sword to deter the dragon at its doorstep. This is not just about new equipment, but a new mindset and doctrine. The stakes are high. Only a credible, modern force can secure the nation's sovereignty. The transformation is urgent, and the window to act is closing fast. The Philippines' greatest strategic asset is its network of alliances, anchored by the 1951 Mutual Defense Treaty with the United States. This alliance provides a powerful deterrent, with the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement allowing U.S. forces rotational access to key bases. EDCA sites serve as launchpads for joint training, rapid response, and humanitarian missions, signaling a robust Manila-Washington commitment. Beyond the U.S., the Philippines is deepening ties with Japan and Australia, who provide patrol vessels, training, and joint exercises. These partnerships create a web of security relationships, complicating any aggressor's calculations. An attack on the Philippines could draw in a coalition of determined nations. This networked security is a force multiplier, compensating for the country's own limitations. Alliances provide advanced training, technology, and diplomatic support, essential complements to national defense. In the Indo-Pacific's complex landscape, these friendships transform the Philippines from an isolated target into a well-connected bastion. The archipelago's shield is not just its own strength, but the collective resolve of its allies. China's rapid military buildup is the main driver behind the Philippines' urgent modernization. The People's Liberation Army Navy is now the world's largest, fielding aircraft carriers, advanced destroyers, and a vast fleet of Coast Guard and maritime militia vessels. These gray zone forces harass Filipino fishermen and outposts, applying constant pressure without open conflict. China's air force and missile arsenal further extend its reach, creating a protective bubble over the South China Sea. This technological leap shifts the regional balance, backing Beijing's sweeping territorial claims. For the Philippines, China is no longer a distant threat. It's a powerful, ever-present neighbor just off its coast. The challenge: how to deter an adversary with overwhelming force and advanced capabilities. Every defense and foreign policy decision in Manila is shaped by this stark reality. The race to adapt is desperate. As the military gap continues to widen, the stakes: national survival in the shadow of a rising superpower. The Philippines stands at the epicenter of US-China rivalry, forced by geography and global power shifts into a delicate balancing act. Its alliance with the US offers security guarantees, advanced training, and intelligence, but risks entanglement in a superpower conflict. Doubts linger: would Washington truly risk war with China over a disputed reef? Meanwhile, China is an economic giant and key trading partner. Antagonizing Beijing can trigger swift retaliation. China's Belt and Road projects tempt Manila with development, but often at the cost of sovereignty. The Philippines hedges, seeking US security while maintaining stable economic ties with China. This requires nimble diplomacy, defending sovereignty without becoming a pawn, engaging China without surrendering territory. Every move is high stakes, with national survival and prosperity on the line. The government must signal resolve to both allies and adversaries. The dance is dangerous but essential for the nation's future. In this great power contest, the Philippines must chart its own course. The South China Sea is a tinderbox, with flashpoints like 2nd Thomas Shoal and Scarborough Shoal at constant risk of escalation. At Ayungin Shoal, Filipino Marines hold out on a grounded ship facing routine Chinese harassment. Any miscalculation could spark conflict. Scarborough Shoal, seized by China in 2012, remains a source of national frustration and potential confrontation. A Chinese air defense identification zone over the South China Sea could trigger dangerous aerial standoffs. Gray zone tactics, maritime militia swarms, harassment of oil exploration and artificial island building create a volatile environment. The risk, a small incident spirals into a wider war, with devastating consequences for the region. The Philippines must be ready for both sudden crises and the slow boil of constant pressure. In these contested waters, even a spark can ignite a conflagration. The Philippines cannot match China ship for ship, so it adopts an asymmetric porcupine strategy, deterring attack by making invasion costly. Key to this are anti-access and area denial systems, like the BrahMos supersonic cruise missiles, which threaten hostile ships near the coast. These affordable weapons can disable billion-dollar warships, shifting the attacker's risk calculus. Maritime domain awareness is critical. Coastal radars, drones, and undersea sensors bolstered by Allied intelligence provide early warning. The archipelago's geography allows for dispersed hidden defenses, missile launchers and fast attack craft scattered across many islands. The goal: credible self-defense, not aggression. A distributed, resilient defense complicates any invasion plan. Combined with strong alliances, this strategy is the Philippines' best path to deterrence. The message is clear: an attack will be costly and bloody. The porcupine bristles ready to defend its home. Military deterrence is only part of the Philippines' strategy. Economic strength and diplomacy are equally vital. A robust economy funds defense modernization and builds resilience against external pressure. Attracting investment, improving infrastructure, and boosting trade are national security imperatives. Diplomatically, the Philippines champions a rules-based order, leveraging its 2016 legal victory at The Hague to rally international support. Within ASEAN, Manila pushes for a binding code of conduct seeking regional unity against unilateral Chinese actions. These efforts keep the South China Sea issue on the global agenda and raise the political cost of aggression. Economic and diplomatic initiatives create off-ramps for conflict and reduce vulnerability to Chinese leverage. The contest will not be won by military means alone. Success depends on credible defense, economic resilience, and skillful diplomacy. The Philippines' multifaceted approach aims to keep the peace and its sovereignty intact. Can the Philippines deter a Chinese attack? There's no simple answer. Deterrence is a dynamic process, not a fixed state. The goal isn't to defeat China outright, but to raise the cost of aggression beyond what Beijing is willing to pay. Continued military modernization, especially asymmetric capabilities like missiles and surveillance, is essential. Political unity and resolve are powerful deterrents. Division signals weakness. Strengthening alliances, especially with the US, Japan, and Australia, ensures any attack would have global repercussions. The Philippines stands as a sentinel in a new era of great power rivalry. Its future depends on a smarter military, robust alliances, and principled diplomacy. The task is monumental, but the Filipino spirit is resilient. In the dragon's shadow, the archipelago refuses to be consumed. With resolve and unity, the Philippines can secure its sovereignty and keep the West Philippine Sea free.